Welcome back, folks. I am Jon Najarian. CJ and Monty are our experts, and I just get to bounce around and ask them questions. Guys, what do you think? Bit was holding above 55,000, and all the focus of a lot of people has been, okay, now that the stimulus checks finally come out, how much of that ends up going into assets like Bitcoin. I think very little will go into assets like gold, but I do think a combination of the Reddit stocks and some of the cryptos are going to get some love right away with these direct deposits. How about you, Matt? What do you think?
Yeah, John, I completely agree with you. I think, we've known for the longest time how important retail money is to not only Bitcoin, but also a lot of these small cap assets that we talk about as our doges of the day. And yeah, I think Bitcoin is actually well positioned to kind of get some propulsion from this stimulus money. If you look at the chart here, like you said, John, we've got some tentative support here around 55K. And I think this is setting itself up nicely to kind of be the new lower high. And I think once the stimulus money starts to hit people's bank accounts and they slowly start to trickle that money over to brokerages like Voyager, we'll start to see some price action. And I think that will eventually propel us back above 60K. So yeah, exciting stuff here with the stimulus coming out. And yeah, John, you also made the point about some of these Reddit stocks that people will be speculating on. And yesterday you sent me this article from Bloomberg about people being banned from Bitcoin posts. So they're kind of turning to the crypto mining stocks like Riot and Mara. And I think those will see a big boost from the stimulus as well.
Well, and did you notice, by the way, on about halfway through that article, I'm sure Matt noticed, but we'll post it with a link to the broadcast today, folks. But that particular article cites, like you say, Riot, as well as Marathon and Voyager. I mean, yeah. Because they are a sponsor of the show. And when you look at Riot, they overlay all three of them, folks, looking at how they've done over the last several months. And as of March 12th, I think, or March 9th or 12th was when that chart was from whenever they started until March 9th. And as of that date, I think Voyager was up 9,000%. It was killing the other two coins. Not coins, I'm sorry, the other two assets, which were, like you said, Riot Blockchain and Marathon, MR. And my gosh, when you look at that, that's a pretty phenomenal performance. And for a company like Bloomberg to cover it, I think was great for the Voyager token and probably Voyager itself in terms of gathering more people into their fold.
Yeah, absolutely. And CJ, one thing that you and I always talk about is kind of how getting exposure to these assets is kind of a way that people like to get exposure to the crypto space, but it's not necessarily a one-to-one comparison. And when we see movements, we tend to see more extreme movements in these mining stocks. So what do you think of this Riot and Mara play, and how do you think these stocks may move if Bitcoin does get some propulsion here?
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll likely see more of the same, being that if Bitcoin continues to do well, those stocks such as Mara, such as MicroStrategy will actually outperform Bitcoin on the way up. And then if you use, option strategies, obviously then you're putting yourself at, even greater upside potential. So those are ones that, yeah, we will always continue to watch throughout this bull market and potentially hedge against by buying puts on later on down the line when or if the market cycle does turn. But yeah, have you guys looked at Argo lately? I know we mentioned that a couple weeks ago.
I have, and I've got another one, but I'll let you talk about Argo. I want to talk about one of one of Matt's first picks, CJ. I'll let you go back to Argo.
I don't have anything to say about Argo. I was just wondering if you guys were trading it or anything.
Well, I was, no, I don't, but I do have something about Cardano because this one has exploded. So I was giving Monty all kinds of crap 2 weeks ago about getting me into this one. And I paid 112 and 114. And then all of a sudden I see these articles, yesterday there was an article in Money Week of all places that was talking about Novogratz and him saying, let's see, what did he say here? It was trading 12 cents in December, and then it was trading $1.02. And he said, before I go shower, can anyone make a real bull case for ADA? Does anyone build on it, use it? Why is the market cap so high? Blah, blah, blah. Because just as Monty said 2 weeks ago, folks, this one moved into the top 5, I think, for market caps, didn't it, Monty? Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. And Novo couldn't understand why. I don't understand why, but I do love that this morning it's trading up to what, 120? Let me see where it is right now. I'm opening up my Voyager app.
Yeah, I've got the chart up here. It looks like about
124. Yeah. Bang. So the question is, Monty, at what point do I take some profits in here?
Yeah, that's a good question. And I think Mike Novogratz makes a great point. This is something that CJ and I discuss often off camera, is kind of what is the value here? It's built as a utility blockchain and kind of as a competitor to Ethereum, but in reality, nothing's being built on this yet. And we talked about this a little bit yesterday with our friend Rob from Digital Asset News. And I think he made a great point for kind of the investment thesis behind Cardano. Sometimes in crypto, it works out to invest in people. And Charles Hoskinson is the founder of Cardano. He was a co-founder of Ethereum, and he has some pretty grand visions for what Cardano can do for the crypto ecosystem. And I think that although nothing's being built on it right now, I think this is the year that it will happen. If there ever is a year that Cardano will find its utility, it's going to be now, with all these projects popping up, with the gas fees tremendously high in Ethereum. And Cardano has a hard fork coming up that is supposed to make this building on top of the network finally a reality. So I think this is the year. This is the make or break year for Cardano. I think Rob said yesterday, this is where the rubber meets the road. And I agree completely, because if it doesn't find its utility this year, I'm not sure when it will. So I plan to hold it at least until the end of this market cycle and see what pans out. I'm giving it some room to breathe. But yeah, John, I think you and Novogratz have a great point. Until it finds some utility, it does feel a little bit like vaporware.
Well, I just took off half. So because, it was good trade by you. I'm that guy. The only thing that I hodl right now, guys, is Bitcoin. Everything else is up for sale at a price, and I'm a trader, so I hope you get back to whatever 147, whatever the highs were that it hit in February, Monty. And if it does, I'll let go of the rest. But it's a nice call by you.
Thank you. Yeah, so you sent I think it's time for us to get to our doges of the day, John. And one thing that you sent me yesterday that made me chuckle was that NFT from Beeple of Elon Musk riding the Doge.
Yep.
And yeah, it's kind of blown up on Twitter, and thought it's pretty funny. I mean, NFTs have really been all the rage lately, and this is just another example.
That's just the tip of the iceberg too, folks. I mean, yeah. I was listening, Monty and CJ, I was listening to I was listening to Gary Vaynerchuk. And believe it or not, Gary is a collector. He's also into crypto, and he's really into NFTs. And he thinks that as a collector, as a bit of an artist, that he's going to find some ways to really push his vision of what art is out in those unique non-fungible tokens. And I do not disagree. I think to the extent that the NBA embraced this, I think one of the reasons they did is that the players, when they sign up for these leagues, they get a certain amount of money. I don't want to bore you guys, but basically, most of pro sports now in the United States, the players get up to almost 50% of the overall take, if you will, of everything from the jerseys, in other words, fan wear, as well as use of them in the uniform of the team. So in other words, you can't just say to LeBron, yeah, we're going to use you in Pepsi ads. No. LeBron gets to use himself in Pepsi ads, and he may or may not wear his jersey. That's why you frequently see those funky kind of jerseys when guys are in whatever it is, hockey, baseball, football, basketball commercials. But they have negotiated out most of their rights for things like, Madden. They don't have to, the league gets the money in. And since the players get 50% of the money, it gets allocated out that way. So I think LeBron and many of these folks would love to have those slams or them kissing the trophy or whatever it might be and turn that picture into an NFT. But I think the leagues own them. So that's going to be interesting going forward. And I think it's one of the reasons that a lot of the music industry is really jumping on this NFT craze right now, because they think, okay, I could get out there and have a non-fungible token for my music instead of doing this deal with, Big Machine Records. That was the label that Taylor Swift and several other artists were on. Instead of me doing a deal there, I'm going to own it and I'm going to put it up and put it online and create a token around, not probably her whole catalog, which she doesn't own, by the way, because Justin Bieber's guy bought that whole catalog of hers, except for all the new stuff from then forward. But anyway, I think you'll see a lot more on the musician side than the individual sports side. I'll let it sit there for now.
Yeah, John, I agree with you completely. And I think it's so exciting because NFTs, if a lot of people say it feels like a bubble, but I think to me, that's kind of just the side effect of a very out there concept finding its true application. I kind of compare it to the internet bubble of the early 2000s. I mean, the internet is still integral in our lives today. It's more important than ever. But a lot of those assets that inflated in value were bubble assets. And I think maybe some of these tweets that are being sold as NFTs won't maintain their value. But the fact of the matter is, like, all this mania around the space, I think is indicative of the fact that people recognize there is true potential utility here down the road. And I think the best use case is for the licensing of music, like you just mentioned.
Well, let's get into the doges of the day then, guys. You've already started with our GIF, our animation there. What are you going to go with today, CJ?
I'm going to go with Chainlink. Already seeing some nice volume today. A lot of good sentiment coming all around, not only in Chainlink, but both with DOT too. The relative tweet volume on Chainlink is up quite a bit. So I'm going to be watching that one for the next couple hours here. But yeah, Link has been one of the blue chips of the cryptocurrency space, and I'll be happy to list it as my Doge of the day.
And that symbol is Link, L-I-N-K, right?
That's true.
Okay. How about you, Monty?
Well, before I get into my Doge of the day for today, I want to talk about my Doge of the day from 2 days ago, which was StormX. I woke up this morning and it had gone from like 15% of my portfolio allocation to like 40% of my portfolio. Wow. So I did some rebalancing today, and I used that to get a position in my new Doge of the day, which is Golem, with GLM on Voyager. And this one appeals to me for a couple of reasons. I mean, I sound like a broken record here, but I think the stimulus checks are going to provide some massive boosts to these low cap assets. This is the lowest cap asset on Voyager. Also, I just like the utility of Golem. It's creating a decentralized computing power database, kind of allowing people all across the world to have access to legitimate computing power to create applications or even new cryptocurrencies by accessing this decentralized archive of computing power. So I think the potential utility is there, which is another reason why I think retail traders will speculate on it heavily over the next few weeks. So this is one I plan to hold until the end of next week when the stimulus money has some time to work its way into the market, and I will be watching this one.
StormX was the lowest market cap on Voyager, but not after last night.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, Gollum, I do agree with you on that one as well, Monty. Gollum is one of those that's just been kind of in a bullish neutral consolidation. I think it's waiting for a lot of buyers to just come in because like what you've seen with StormX, like what you've seen with VGX prior, these things sit for a very long time and do very little. But when buyers finally inevitably do come in, you get 50%, sometimes 100% moves in just a day.
Well, and I'm going to go with a $4 billion coin that you guys know well. It's not one of the cheap coins, though, but it's made a big move. And when something yesterday, I want to say it was, we were seeing pressure on coins because of Bitcoin's pullback. Today, I'm thinking XMR, Monero, privacy coin. Obviously pretty big on coin market cap. It's probably top 25, something like that. And I'm going to be looking to add to a position in this one today. XMR.
Yeah, I like that, John. I've always been a fan of XMR. It's been around for a while now, and I like it as a long-term hold, not just a trade, because I don't think it's going anywhere, but it is set up nicely for a trade, kind of working its way up to its previous high. So yeah, I like that play, and I think it could reach new all-time highs later this week. So
yeah, especially if you can pick it up. I'm looking at the chart here. It's been right around 230, 250 a couple times today. So if you can get it there, I think you'll be able to get out at 250, 255 if you're somebody who trades for moves like that.
Agreed. All right, well, I think that's all we got for today. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, this was sponsored by Voyager Cryptocurrency Brokerage. So go check them out. And yeah, we have a cryptocurrency trading room with an ever updating curriculum and an ever expanding community of members. So you can go ahead and check that out. It's just $1 for the first month at marketrebellion.com/trycrypto. So go ahead and check that out. CJ and I are in there pretty much 24/7. So come hang out with us.
They don't sleep. They don't sleep.
We take shifts. It's like 12 hours on, 12 hours off. This is our 30 minutes of overlap right here. So,
okay. Well, thank you, folks. See you tomorrow. Tell a friend about it. Remember, you can always pick up this episode and others on YouTube. If you go to YouTube and you type in Market Rebellion, you'll see all of the videos. Matt and CJ, you'll see our whole team with a whole bunch of videos, thousands of videos there, and they're all free. See you tomorrow, folks.